President Ruto has recently found himself between a hard place and a rock to an extent that he's been forced to renegotiate the oil agreements deals that he signed back in March between the Kenyan government and the UAE. And here is a quote from the Sunday Nation. And just to cut the long story short, the Ministry of Energy officials are on a mission to the UAE to renegotiate the agreement of supplying petroleum products to Kenya on credit. And mind you, this comes barely 2 months prior to when they were supposed to make their first installment. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority had to take such intervention. Why? Simply because, least to their expectations, during the signing of the agreement, they thought that the Kenya shilling would be appreciating. But guess what? The opposite happened. And so they have no any way out apart from they renegotiating the agreement. When they were signing the agreement back in March, a dollar was going for Kenya shillings 130. But guess what? Currently, a dollar goes for 140 shillings. That means it has really shoot. And the repercussions of all this is that many importers choose to buy products from our neighboring countries of Uganda and Tanzania, of which that alone denies Kenya to access the adequate revenue that it would have collected when the products were locally bought. This being the first fuel deal by President Ruto that was ostensibly to reduce the pressure on the dollar. But guess what? That never happened. Instead, the only positive significant result it impacted is on the price of cooking oil, simply because we are all now enjoying the reduction of price of cooking oil. And it is just the other day that I remember President Ruto stating that soon we were going to start buying fuel using our Kenyan currency.
I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks. And secondly, we, through the central bank, we are having conversations to reinstate the interbank exchange market that has since not worked. And I am happy that the players in that sector, including our banks, are coming forward and they are participating, and they are working with the central bank so that we can again take charge of our market and that it is not allowed to be distorted by brokers. I'm told the only place where brokers are accepted is at the exchange. Anywhere else, they are banned. And so I just want to assure those in Kenya who are facing challenges of access to dollars that we have taken steps to ensure that dollar availability in the next couple of weeks is going to be very different, because our fuel companies will now be paying for fuel in Kenya shillings. They do not have to look for dollars every month, because we have done what we must do as government to ensure that we ease the burden on people who want to realize their returns in dollars. And I was being told by the chairman of NSC, so Mr. Chairman, you have nothing to worry about. We have taken adequate steps to make sure that that is sorted.
And I honestly wondered how that will be made possible, having it in mind that Kenya as a country, we do not have adequate exports to the UAE. Never did I choose to blame the president for that statement, but rather chose to blame the economic dwarfs who are misadvising him. And honestly, do you know where all this problem began? It began immediately when the president failed to imply the idea of meritocracy. Kenyans know as a matter of fact that there are some positions were rewarded not based on merits, but rather based on their loyaltiness during the campaigns. And this could be the end result. As CS finds himself rushing into signing some dubious deals without they looking at what the repercussions may come in the near future. And devoid of all these challenges, President Ruto should come up with some economic policies so that he can streamline on the hustlers' economy, or else Kitakuramba. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concern, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on the notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Yes. Article 43 of our Constitution gives us a right to socio-economic issues, including right to food, right to basic things, including movement. As it is today, we have very many families that cannot afford 3 meals a day. In fact, many cannot even afford a meal a day. We are unable to move from one point to another. Moving from your place of residence to your place of work is becoming impossible, where you can generate income for the government to tax you. Tomorrow, we have an opportunity to join other Kenyans and tell this government enough is enough. When we cannot meet our basic needs as human beings, that government has no reason to be in power, or let me put it differently. Those who are in office of government, led by the president himself, Amauri Anajiita president, has no right to remain there. And tomorrow is a day for us to say loudly, enough is enough. This high cost of living must be brought down, must be reduced.
Wakenya wenzangu, kokote ulipo katika jamhuri yetu ya Kenya, kama wewe wasikia uchungu wa bei ghali ya maisha, kama unasikia uchungu wa mafuta petroli unayolipa bei ghali, kama unasikia uchungu wa chakula kuwa bei ghali, wewe kesho siku ya Sabasaba jitokeze mahali huko na upige kelele hapo. Asanteni sana.